Hi friends! So I'm going to remind you how to do simple shapes in 3 dimensions using 1-point perspective. These are the supplies you will need: paper, pencil, and some sort of ruler or straight edge so that you can make sure you are drawing very straight lines. Step 1. Put a small dot towards the middle of your paper. Make sure everything you draw in perspective like this is drawn lightly, because some things you will need to erase after it's all drawn. So the step 1, put a dot in the middle of your paper, somewhere in the middle. Step 2, start drawing some simple shapes around the outside edge. We're going to keep it very simple, and once you get the hang of this, if you want to do shapes that are a little more interesting, you can. I'm going to start by drawing a square. Guess it's a little more like a rectangle. And I'll do maybe a triangle over here. And I'll do a circle over here. Step 1 was the dot. That's the point in 1-point perspective. Step 2 is drawing your shapes. Very simple shapes to start with. Step 3 is drawing a line from your dot to the corner of your shapes. However, if you draw a line from the dot to this type of corner, your line will go through your shape, and you do not want that. Do not draw a line from the dot to a corner if the line is going to go through your shape. So instead, let's check this one out. Dot to the corner. That's good. It's not going to go through my shape. Dot to the corner. It's good. It's not going to go through my shape. Dot to the corner. It's good. It's not going to go through my shape. Dot to the corner. Ooh, it's going to go through my shape, so I'm not doing it. Let's try this one. Dot to the corner is good. Dot to the corner, nope. I'm not doing that one because it would draw straight through my shape. Dot to the corner of my shape, and we're good. Now what happens when you have a shape that doesn't have corners? You use what is called a tangent, which is the edge of the shape. Your line should not go through your shape. So you don't want to do this type of thing and have it go through your shape. No, you want it to go to the edge of your curve, like that. The other side, the edge of the curve, like that. Okay? This shape doesn't look all that good, so I'm actually going to change it. Artists do this sort of thing all the time. They make mistakes and they change it, which is fine. That's one reason I want you to draw lightly. I'm going to make this shape into more of a skinny rectangle so that I can show you what would happen normally. Okay, I'm going to redraw the dot to the corner and the dot to the corner. Now I can see this side of the shape better. It's just going to look better overall. Step 1 was the dot. Step 2 was making your shapes. Step 3 is drawing the lines from the dot to the corner. Dot to corner, dot to corner. Or dot to the edge. It's called the tangent of your circle. Step 4 is all about parallel lines. Lines that are next to each other and will go on for infinity without ever touching. These two markers are in parallel lines with each other. Now they're not, because that green line would eventually touch the blue. Parallel lines are very important for step 4. You're going to make this triangle have an end somewhere in here. It's going to end. Do you want it to be a skinny flat triangle? Do you want it to be longer and taller? You decide. Wherever you put that line though, it has to be parallel to this line. So I could do it right there and have it be super skinny. I could do it here, I could do it here, but I can't do it like this because that line would not be parallel to that line. So I'm going to make it maybe here. Does this line and this line, do they look like they're parallel? I think so. Now the rest of this line and this line get erased. We don't need it anymore. That's why it's important to draw light. And now if you want to, you can trace over it and make it darker. But now you have a very realistic shape that has turned into a three-dimensional form. Let's do it with our rectangle. This one has two lines that we need to draw. Both need to be parallel. So I have to draw a line parallel to this one somewhere in here. I think I'll make this one kind of skinnier. Parallel. These two are parallel. And then I'm going to draw a parallel line to this over here. It does need to connect to this one. Let's see. Parallel line, parallel to this, connecting to the line we just drew. Parallel. And then I'm going to erase this. Now with the circle or shapes that have curves, you're not really doing a parallel line because it's not straight. So instead, you're basically copying this same curve just down here and smaller. You want it to be the same type of curve as this right here. Just repeat it down below. And then you erase. And you have your three-dimensional shapes, or in art we call them forms.